Welcome to another episode of Marketing 101 for Chiropractors, where we keep you ahead of the curve, attracting more new patients and growing your business. Now, here's your host, Dr. D himself.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Marketing 101 for Chiropractors. A really cool episode this week about, maybe some archaic marketing that actually works really well. And David Wax is with us from Handwrytten. Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you so much for having me, Doctor.
Yeah, this is a great one. I mean, I've been harping about this type of marketing since the inception of probably 20 years or whenever I've been doing it. So, and I keep coming back to it. So it's really great that you're here and maybe dive deep into the nitty gritty of how this all works about sending people mail and how it really, really does work. How'd you get into all of it?
So I started Handwrytten back in 2014. So I've been doing this 11 years now. Prior to Handwrytten, I had a text messaging company that I started in 2004. And that company, we did texting for like Tropical Smoothie Cafe and Sam's Club, Office Max, Blue Man Group. We sent millions of texts a day just for Abercrombie. And what I realized from that is while texting worked, everybody was receiving a million texts a day. And then you were getting 135 emails a day, and you were starting at the time in 2014 to get Slack notifications, and then Teams and Twitter and Facebook and all the rest. And all this digital noise was just overwhelming. And again, that was 11 years ago. So what I thought is, there has to be a better way to create lasting, durable, more personal relationships with customers. And I thought handwritten notes, because when I receive one, I put it on display, as you might see behind me. And I knew my clients and customers and my clients and employees did too. So when I sold the last company, I sat down to try to write handwritten notes to all of them, and my hand got tired. I ran out of stationery, all the typical stuff. And that's where the new idea came from. And now I believe we're the largest in the world doing this. We use, our motto is to make sending handwritten notes as easy or easier than sending an email. And we do that through 200 custom-built robots that we built ourselves in our facility in Tempe, Arizona. Each robot holds a real pen, and they write out in mass about 30,000 pieces a day, sometimes more. Right now, this is recording over the holidays, so it's a busy time for us. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we do. And clients across everything from healthcare, veterinarian care, retailers, nonprofits, all see tremendous value out of this type of marketing when they tied it to their other forums.
Yeah. No, I love it. So that's cool. The nitty gritty. So 30 robots. I mean, you guys are pumping it out.
200 robots.
200 robots.
200
robots doing this every single day. That's amazing. That's a system. You've created something big. Okay. So now in our profession, you said healthcare. Handwritten notes, I remember sitting there around this time of the year getting a few boxes of the cards from Costco, the Christmas cards, and handwriting them. And I've always forgot, 30% of my patients. I tried to send the ones there, and then you started picking your best patients, which is horrible. You want to pick every patient, right? You want to send it to everybody. And I remember doing it. And you were absolutely right. I went through a couple pens. You go to the post office, stamp them all, send them all out, and it was totally worth it. It was worth whatever it cost, $150 in postage to do it. But it was lost over time because of the effort and the time it takes to do this. And in small businesses like chiropractic offices, dental offices, you only have 5, 10, 15 employees. This becomes cumbersome, and you've kind of solved that. You said, hey, here, we'll do this. So how would a dentist or a chiropractor in their office utilize something like this, handwritten notes? What are some examples that you see done every day?
Well, the number one is thank you for becoming a client, welcoming clients. You could use this when you open up a new practice to kind of geofence the area around your practice and send prospecting notes. But that's going to be expensive because postage, if nothing else, is very expensive. And then, we're a manufactured product. We're not a printed product. The very first step in our process is to print the greeting card that we write on. but then it's a manufactured process. It gets fed into a robot to write it, another robot to QA it, another robot to stuff it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's never going to be as cheap as junk mail. But junk mail has the word junk in it, and this is kind of higher upstream. So we recommend using this for where you already have a relationship and you're trying to build on that and keep that going. And you brought up a very good point. You said when you write your handwritten notes, you pick your best clients, and that's what we tell people is, they say, oh, I want to use handwritten for 30 clients. I say, and what we say is, okay, before finding a service like handwritten, you'd have to pick your 30 best patients or clients, right? But with a service like handwritten, you don't have to put on that filter. So you can provide the exact same experience to all your patients and not limit where, because it's yes, it's an investment in money, but it's really an investment in your time. And we take away that feature. So getting back to your question, it's anniversary of patient, it's new patient, it's death of patient, condolences. We do a lot of that in veterinarian. I mean, we have a whole business dedicated to the putting down pets. So, those are kind of the main use cases for the medical field.
So you order in bulk. So let's look at from your perspective here. You don't order one note, do you?
You can.
Oh, okay.
At handwritten, a single note is $3.75. I'm not here to push handwritten with a Y in my company. I'm here to really talk about handwritten with an I, which is the magic of you sitting down and writing a handwritten note. And then after that, if it becomes too cumbersome, use a service like ours. But with handwritten with a Y, you can send as few as one. You're going to pay the most retail rate we have, which is $3.75 a card. And then if you do any sort of volume, there's a number of ways to get discounts, which would be placing an order in bulk or prepaying for a number of cards, or the best option for most people is a business plan where you pay a monthly fee and then you get a drastically reduced rate off the cards, in addition to a number of other services included in that.
Okay.
But yeah, you can absolutely go to our website and buy one card. And if you want to do bulk and you want every single card to be different, the message can certainly be different, but so can the card. So if you want to put a different image on every single card, there's no additional fee for that.
Very cool stuff. Okay, so you blew my mind with the one card thing. There was really no one out there doing the one card because I mean, condolences,
Yeah,
that would be great. We don't even do that. And
yeah,
starting tomorrow, I'm using handwritten and we're going to start doing that. I didn't even know that was an option. So my office is going to be on board right away with that. Happy birthdays, all these things for
yes,
$3, $4. I don't think I can do it in my office for $3 or $4 because of time. Yes,
correct.
I can buy the envelope, I can buy the card for 50 cents, I can put a stamp on it. Yes, I know, and I could probably do it for $1.75. But my time,
Correct.
it's
And,
three seventy five. I mean, that's worth way
and
more than my time. Yeah,
yeah, and in volume, you're talking $2, less than $2, $1.50. So,
right.
it just depends on what you want to do. But a lot of people say, well, is this as good as you sitting down yourself and doing it? And my answer to that is kind of twofold. Number one, threefold. Number one, nobody will know. We've spent 11 years making the world's best handwriting robot. Genuinely, go to handwritten.com and get your free sample kit, and you'll see for yourself. So that's number one. Number two is this isn't a new thing. Back in let's take a time travel trip back to the 60s, and you wrote into the CEO of TWA Airlines because you had a good or bad experience, and you get a note back from the CEO of TWA. Do you think the CEO of TWA really sat down and wrote that note? Absolutely not. They had
Right.
some admin do it. So it wasn't a robot, but it was an admin doing it. It wasn't that same person.
Yeah.
But my new answer to that question, just to share, is it's often not a choice between handwritten with an I and handwritten with a Y. It's often a choice between handwritten with a Y or nothing, just for what you said. I mean, time is your most valuable commodity, and you can't do it. And even if you visit our website and punch out every handwritten note separately or do it on our iPhone app, after a week or two, you'll stop doing that, even if that's easy. So it's really about making it automated, whether, for birthdays, you mentioned birthdays, you can go on our website and we have a birthday automation tool where we'll automatically send out a card with a Starbucks gift card or whatever every year, 2 weeks before their birthday. You just have to go in once a year and update the message and the card design so it doesn't look stale. And we'll handle the rest. Or we integrate with Zapier and all these other geeky tools, your CRM system probably, to allow you to automate that fully. And that is where it gets interesting for you, because if you don't have to upload a bulk spreadsheet every month or every week, it's a way better system and it just goes on autopilot.
Perfect. Well, I mean, yeah, that's it. I mean, it makes perfect sense for all this. So now those are all the ways we can use it. We can use it for new patients. We can send every
Yeah.
new patient one. So I'll get into the marketing 101 for all this stuff, and the reason why you may want to consider this for your business is because of the emotional component of marketing. I mean, we get into a lot of psychology and why we should do what we do.
Yeah.
It's easy to fall into the easy stuff to do. Just pay for Google ads, or just, be aware online, or do our SEO to stay on top of it for competition to get the calls. That's great. But, the mistake we were making by sending stuff to our good patients, and I hate using that word, to our good patients, that they already like you. You don't have to do anything for them. They're probably going to be lifelong clients anyways.
Yeah.
That's why you like them as a business owner. So you need to send it to everyone. You really do, because you may turn a colder prospect or a colder patient or colder client to be like, wow, they actually do care. And you can swing them onto your lifelong client list afterwards. And these things definitely do that. It's always these little things that come back years later and they told me, hey, doc, you know why I've been with you for 10 years? And I'm like, really? Because of that? Not the great care that we've been giving you? No, because you listened to me, or you did this, or you thought about me, or you gave me that note when my dog died, or
Mm-hmm.
something along those lines that left an emotional component to them. So that's the reason you want to do this. I did not know you guys had made it that easy, because everyone else I talked to, you had to buy bulk of at least
Yeah.
100. I'm like, well, I don't want to say 100. Sorry, your dog died.
100%. I agree. And you bring up so many good points. It's hard to keep up with them all, but I'll give you a few. You brought up the Google ads.
Right.
So many people are so focused on acquiring clients, right? And they have these great dashboards for Google clicks to conversions and all the rest. And everybody, I know not at chiropractor firms because they're probably too small, but these boiler rooms of people making outbound sales calls trying to get the next client. Yeah, it's exciting and it gets, the endorphins going every time you get a sale. But there's the opposite side, which is retaining clients, which does not receive the same attention. And it should, because the number one cost in your business, the most costly thing in your business is replacing the clients that fall through. So, you need to pay attention, whether it's handwritten notes or phone call follow-ups or customer appreciation dinners or whatever you want to do. You need to focus on the retention at least as much, or not more so, than acquiring new clients. And yes, it's not as sexy and it doesn't generate that excitement, but you're leaving so much on the table if you don't. As far as your points on retention, again, not a chiropractic or medical client, but we have a piano tuner in Pennsylvania, and you only need your piano tuned, the spine of your piano fixed once a year. And when he tunes your piano, he has an automation set up to automatically send you a handwritten note thanking you for the opportunity to tune your piano. And then he doesn't see you for a year. When he returns to your home a year later, that handwritten note is often standing up on the piano. So not only was it opened, not only was it read, it was put on display in the area that's typically reserved for family photos and graduation announcements, right? Marketers cannot buy that real estate, but a handwritten note, whether you write it yourself or use an automated service, is the one thing that can get in there and gain that priceless real estate. So, people, and what does that do? Every time they sit down at the piano, every single time they see that billboard of a reminder that you are their go-to guy to fix their piano. And that is some powerful stuff.
That is, yes. And I mean, what's stopping you from just picking up a card and doing that each time for sure? But when volume gets in the way, like for us,
Right.
chiropractors are not piano tuners. We have a little bit more volume than
I
that. So
agree.
you
Yeah.
can't keep up. And then we may not have a volume like maybe a hospital or something, whatever it is, a bigger company. But yeah, so this is, you really, I didn't know. I should have asked you that in the green room. Like, can you do one note? Because you blew my mind. I was like, well, then every chiropractic office can use this. Just create an account, go online,
Hmm.
type in what you want, and it's off to the races. And it looked like he's now the handwritten. You have pre-typed or pre, I guess, calligraphy of human writing in there that you just
Yeah.
pre-choose, or can you copy ours? Or
Yeah. So we currently have about 36 public styles for you to choose from. If you want your own custom style, you can absolutely do that. There is a cost of between 1500, I believe it's 15 and 1750, depending on if it's more cursive than block, but it's a one-time fee to get that in the system. Full disclosure, I'm the CEO of the company and I founded it. I don't have my handwriting in there. It's not that important. So I would say choose one that's already there. But if like we have celebrities and football stars and all the rest that have their own styles with us. Um, so if you want your own, you can do that. A much more cost effective thing, if it's important, is have your signature replicated. So we would just send you a little form. You write your signature on the form. We replicate that exactly so you could sign every note with your actual signature.
there you go.
And then once you pay the one time of either of those, that's it. You can use it as much as you want. So that's often a great way. And then the cards themselves, we do have hundreds of rotating cards through the platform, but I would say the best feature is just creating your own. So take a photo or go to Canva or have ChatGPT do it, whatever, Nano Banana, do that, have your card design generated, uploaded into our platform. It can be folded or flat. And I personally, I like folded because they literally stand up on desks and pianos and everything else. So
Yeah.
just go on our platform, do that, and then your card is available whenever you need it.
Awesome. I'll have all your links in the description so people can go check it out. I mean, I ask these questions because there's those picky chiropractors that I work with all the time. Like, can you use my handwriting? Can I use
Yeah.
my pictures? Can you use all this stuff? And I keep telling them, I don't, he's created this entire company on the best 36 and the best cards. And if you really want to get to point A to point B, you use David, and that's a tool to get you to point B a lot faster. Why do you, I always thought, why do you need to customize everything? Just use that, and you're done in like 30 seconds, and you're off to the
Exactly.
races. Yeah,
Everybody
that's
gets analysis paralysis, and
and
I don't know, I got
totally.
to
And
think about it.
it's probably a lot of people, but I feel like chiropractors to overthink everything. Don't
Yeah.
overthink this. Go to handwritten, uh, do your cards, send out a couple, test them out, and then pick the ones you like and just make those on rotate. But I would, as a CEO of my company, I would be sending it out to every new patient to create that instant bond, that one thing that no one else does. I would send that out to them saying, thank you for being part of our team. We're looking forward to taking great care of you. And then you choose what you want to do afterwards. If it's really that simple, you can make a lot of great little touches to that, like life events, graduations, marriages, all that great stuff, because you watch these people grow up in your community. So there's a lot of great ideas there. Thanks for making it super easy. What are some other things as far as marketing and the value of getting in people's mailboxes, and not only getting in their mailbox, like you said, there's tons of junk. I literally
Hmm.
grab my mail and I'll throw it in the garbage, and then I'll
Hmm.
sift through the garbage. Like I'm like, oh, that's a bill from the electric company, which I even don't care about because it's on auto pay
Right,
online, so
exactly.
I don't even care about it. But I just go through it really quick, and it's in the garbage first before I even scan it. What's the value of having that card that people are like, wait a minute, I got to open this up?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So, we work in a number of verticals, and one of them that we've gone after is legal. And we went to a legal trade show. And before going to the trade show, we mailed all the lawyers a handwritten note. And they came to our booth and they said, "This is the only marketing material that I received," because their secretaries, who get their mail, go through it all and throw away all the junk. But the handwritten note looks so personal, it gets past the filter, right? So the same, handwritten notes have a 3 times greater open rate than a print piece, a print letter. And I think it has to be even higher than that. But we like to think of it as an unboxing experience. If I were to get a note and, oh, why did this chiropractor send me a note? And then I look at it, I look at the envelope, I open it, I look at the card, and then I read it. So it's a whole experience there. These notes are typically short, under 500 characters. You don't want to write, a novel. Nobody will read it. So, you can pretty much guarantee people will get them and read them. And that's the difference. It shows a deeper, it shows a deeper investment in appreciation and time rather than a printed card. So people really appreciate that. And to your point of throwing around the garbage, whenever I get a handwritten note, I'll get the mail, I'll put the handwritten notes at the back because that's the dessert after looking at the stupid bills that I throw away. But then so if you get 3 handwritten notes, whatever, the average person gets like 3 a month, except this time of year of Christmas, you put those at the back as your dessert, and then because that's the stuff you want.
Yeah, great. Yeah, no, there's so much value to it. I could speak for another hour on the emotional psychology behind it and why it's so valuable. Unlike anything else, what's it called? Direct mail marketing.
Yeah.
That's you fall into the junk pile with that too, and that can become expensive as well. This is to
Yeah.
your list, like you said, you could get your CRM involved and really pinpoint key strategic marketing on this. That's where you're coming from an empathy perspective of being with the client and being there during life events. I'm coming from a marketing perspective on how can I push the right buttons to make you a lifelong client. And these are
Mhm.
the things that you do those things. It's really not the service. They know they're getting the service. It's like going to a pizza joint. They're not going to do a whole cheer because you gave them the pizza. They paid for it. They expected it. They did not expect the thank you card that came
You
later. Thank
just,
you for enjoying the
I've
pizza.
I've been doing all these Instagram reels recently, and my latest reel is people don't remember expected service. They remember, and that could be getting your Amazon delivery on time or your back fixed. They remember unexpected service, which is what you're talking about. And this is like one more touch point to that unexpected service. You nailed it there.
Yes, I like that. The unexpected service that you give to them is something like this. Go check it out. I'll have all the links there. Check it out. Reach out to David too. He's super approachable. If you have any questions, I'm sure him and his team will answer them for you. But I'm going to be checking it out. We're going to be using you ASAP here. This is great stuff. Did I miss anything? Anything you want to add? Anything that
No,
your company
well,
does?
if people want to tune out, they can tune out here. But we actually did a survey. There's some actual analysis here. We did a survey of 2,000 consumers, and it's not really chiropractor or healthcare, but just overall, we said, "Do you feel appreciated by brands?" And only 12% of consumers felt appreciated by brands. And we said, "Well, what would you do if you did feel appreciated?" And they said they'd buy more, rate and review more, and refer more. So all the good things you want as a chiropractor or any other professional, especially those referrals. And we said, well, what would it take to feel appreciated? We showed them a printed letter, junk mail. We showed them a little picture of an email. This was a blind survey, so we didn't know these people. We did it online. And by and large, the number one answer was, of course, the handwritten note. So yes, it's more expensive than junk mail and certainly more expensive than an email, but the returns are magnitudes greater. And to your point of doing things that are unexpected, this is a great way to create a lifelong bond, get additional referrals, and build the relationships with the patients you have.
100%. One last question for me. Can you put a QR code in a note?
Yes, and it's uniquely trackable. So, thanks to our crazy system we built here, if we send out 5,000 of those cards for you, we'll know which of those the recipient, which recipient's card was scanned. I can't tell you if it was him or his wife or his dog or his
Right.
daughter, but
Yeah.
we
It
can
was
tell you,
received.
yeah,
Yeah.
who it was intended for.
That's cool. And then could we could put our QR code in the note saying, "Hey, it was such a pleasure taking care of you over the last 4 months and improving your scoliosis. The results speak for themselves. Thanks for trusting us. Scan this QR code. Tell us your story so that we can
Yes.
help others." Yeah,
Yep.
there you go. See,
Yep.
I said, but this could turn into a 2-hour podcast, but we'll keep it simple. so many ideas that you can do
Yeah.
with this. And you completely spun me at the beginning of the show when you said you can do OneNote. I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
it's
And so like if you create a card with your QR code on it, then you can just send those out onesie twosies. And again, there's no cost for that card design. You could even send them out from your iPhone or, whatever. Once you design the card, it's available everywhere. So it's real simple to do.
digital or print. That's great, or both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool, man. Yeah, well, I'll have everything in there for you. Thanks for being on the show. I'm sure I'll have you back about
Would love
direct
to.
mail marketing because you're the only real person that still believes in sending out this stuff, which is great. That's it. That's all I got for you. A great show.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, like, share, and leave a rating. It helps get our podcast out to more listeners. Also, join Marketing 101 for Chiropractors on Facebook or visit us at enricod.com for more information on growing and scaling your business.